this is something I've been experiencing, at least in 2025. This is one of my lessons that I want to teach myself. And I think that it can also help others as well. And I was practicing it last year, but I think it is very important that I start instilling some of these things. Number one, sometimes it's best to let people go, okay? Everyone is not meant to stay in your life. Everyone isn't meant to be a part of your mission and a part of your goal. I wrote a couple of things down, but that's the main thing here that I want to get through. Sometimes your mission is not their mission. Sometimes some people, they're not a part of your mission at all. I have a few experiences with this, and I know in the past, at least for me, I've been afraid to cut people off to a certain point in my life. I know that a lot of times that can mess up with what you want to do, your initial goal in your life. And sometimes God has taken people out of my life that, I needed. I didn't necessarily want it. But I knew it was for the greater good. Trying to keep someone around can really break you. And it's exhausting, it's painful, it's hurtful, I guess that's the same thing. You cannot convince someone to love you or respect you, within that relationship, okay? It's definitely gonna hurt, especially if you love that person. But it's also gonna bring freedom to you, your life, your household. And I know it's late, I'm up here talking, but I just know like a lot of people, especially in my circle, it lead people to linger and let people hang around till it disturbs their peace. And it makes it hard for them to even do what they really want to do. Some tips on really leaving people is I would say pray. Sometimes we're missing some things in the inside, like our confidence. And then we think that person brings us more value. But it's not always the case. Sometimes it's just really important to put yourself first prioritize yourself over others. I wouldn't necessarily say put yourself first, but prioritize yourself over others. Because sometimes their problems are not your problems. Really, most of the times, their problems are not your problems. And we only have a certain amount of cares we can really give to certain things in life. Okay, so, in 2025, we really got to focus on just letting people go, letting people leave, and letting us find our way and letting them find their way. Because that's something, sometimes we're just meant to cross paths for a little bit. Sometimes you're just meant to be there in that person's life for a reason, not forever. So it's very important. Sometimes you have to cut people off unexpectedly. Sometimes you will have to, hang up the phone, not talk to people, call them back. It'll be those times like that. And I think that prayer is very important for something like that. Talking to people that you actually love, finding your roots, realizing what really is important in your life, and prioritizing those things will really help you get away from those relationships. Well, at least I'll say for me, it will help me get away from those relationships, knowing what you prioritize, and prioritizing those things the best way you possibly can. And think about it. Think about how many people you've let go in your life before, and you're still here. All your past relationships. You're still thriving, still living, still able to be you at the end of the day, and that's really all that matters. Like I said, it's like 4 or 5 in the morning, just talking, but you know, I feel like someone needs to hear this. Like, even if I didn't say anything important this whole time while I was on this camera talking, I would say the number one thing is prioritize. Focus on what's important. Focus on what's important. Realize number one is realizing what's important. And number 2 is focus on those things that are important. Money, all those things are not important, you know, and you know, you can't survive off money alone in this world. So focus on what's really important. Continue to be the best version of yourself that you can be, possibly every single day. All right. That's it. That's it for my little tangent that I went on. But y'all go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, and tell me, you know, something about y'all, like when y'all had to cut somebody off. I don't know. I mean, I done heard some crazy stories, but 2025 is cut a bitch off year. So remember that. Don't forget that. Do it. Cut a bitch off and subscribe.